I just don't know. I mean, the warmonger is the United States. I mean, what are they going to do? Who knows? I think that they and the Zionists are getting ready to expand war in the Middle East and make it into a third world war.
Here's a question in from David. He always feels that the major banks and brokerage firms, I take it back. He says that you often say that the major banks and brokerage firms are all bankrupt. He says if this is the case, what should we do with the money in our bank accounts? Likewise with major brokerage firms.
Well, you only keep enough money in the bank account for 6 months' expenses. All the rest of the money should go in gold or silver-related assets. And I'm afraid that after the moratorium is up on the insurance for money market funds, if they don't extend it, I wouldn't want to be in there. Look, why go anyplace else? Why fight it? Gold and silver going up, and it's as simple as that. You just don't have to be a genius to figure it out. But if you want to stay in dollars and lose your money, that's terrific. I mean, somebody's got to lose their money. Might as well be you.
A question came in from Norm. He says that you often state that the government has again caused the price of gold to go down, and it was very costly for them to do that. His question is, if the government is so concerned about gold prices, then do you not think they will demand all gold be confiscated at a point in time?
Absolutely not. They're going to have to back any currency that they bring in with gold, because if they have a world currency without gold, no one's going to want to accept it. All right. Do they need gold? I don't know. Probably. The United States. Maybe they don't have any left. We don't know. They lie to us. We haven't had an audit since 1954-55. So, they might go after the Exchange Traded Fund at GLD, 753 tons. By the time they go after it, they'll probably have 1,500 tons, 2,000 tons, and they'll tell those professional investors, here, it's the money for, this is the price of gold right now, and that's what you're going to get for it. We want the gold. They're not going to go after individuals. Why is it, every single program we're on, we get the same question over and over again, and it's ridiculous. And it's because we have morons out there who pass themselves off as being financial writers who are telling you this. And they're wrong over and over and over again. Don't you people get it? Don't listen to them.
We are hearing that many states are in financial trouble, like California. Can you explain how the works of Walter Burien, who suggests that these entities keep more than one set of books out of the public domain relates to these states? Are their real balance sheets as bad as they claim?
I don't know, but I know people who have investigated it, and they say that the amounts of money in shares and bonds belong to different retirement programs. And so I haven't investigated. I don't know. But the man who did that is very bright, and he says there's smoke and no fire.
Do you see that the decline in real estate prices over the last 2 years resulted from deflating of the bubble that was created between '02 and '06? This process will continue for another 1 to 3 years. What will happen to real estate prices when the dollar collapses and true deflation occurs and all assets except gold and silver decline and a possible dollar devaluation occurs?
Well, let's say that we got a deflation and depression 3 years from now in a depressionary way. Well, the price of the houses are already down. They're down. Depends on where you look, but, 35 to 50%. And they're going to go lower. They'll probably end up going down 60%, all of them, out over the next 15 years. So that's what's going to happen. You don't want to be there. You got a house, you live in it, and that's it.
How is the next week's Israeli election, should Netanyahu win, impact the Iranian issue?
It's going to make it a lot worse.
Yep.
Netanyahu is a CIA and Mossad operative. He's an absolute nutcase.
Do you think he's going to win?
Yeah.
Well, did he make a statement just last week that if he wins, he's going to annihilate Iran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just part of the Illumina structure. That's all. You got to know who the players are and where they're coming from.
Murray writes it and says, no one knows when anything will happen, but the bottom line is when you're prepared, it's not an emergency.
True. Being prepared is extremely, extremely important.
And Wednesday you talked about Mexico. How safe is it for mining investments given all the drug violence and police murders?
Oh, it has no more problems than any other country. There was an exception to that over the last 2 years. The president tried to end the control of the narcotics by these narcotics leaders, and he was unsuccessful. In fact, as many people has been killed by troops, civilians, as have been killed by narcotraficantes. So, that problem has been solved. There's a few more murders that will occur. They haven't finished doing what they have to do. But that should be over in a month or so, or maybe less. And then they're going to stop. So it'll be over. Look, country makes $20 billion a year on illegal drugs. You think the government's going to stop it? Who's to blame? The American people. They use that crap. So you don't blame the Colombians or the Mexicans and other people. It's the Americans who are to blame, and the Europeans and the people who use drugs. There's plenty of people all over the world who use drugs. It's terrible. It destroys people.
Is the U.S. the number one country for drug usage?
By far.
By far? How sad. Remember, Bob, we talked about shipping coins overseas and for people who are living elsewhere. And this came in from Howard about storage problems and some solutions. And he just got back from living in Europe for 4 years, and he had the same problem. And here's what he did. He bought a TL30 safe, put it in a storage facility. 1/3 went there. Then he sent 1/3 of it to the Delaware Depository. And he had no problem getting his exact coins back, and they serve as a great receiver when shipping precious metals back to the U.S. Something that you want to do since the customs forms requires a listing of the contents of any precious metals in packages you send them. And he took some with him to Europe. He physically carried them. Only the U.S. wanted to know about them, and that's because they show up on the scanner. He also mailed some to himself over the years, and then he finally sent some to his parents for safekeeping. He lost nothing, and everything worked out fine. He also believes that shipping coins by ViaMat using Delaware Depository is the best way to get coins overseas. ViaMat likes to deal with corporations, not individuals, so Delaware deposits his agents. CMAT has offices all over the planet, so they are plugged in. And so we do appreciate him sending us that information.
Be sure and save that, because we're going to get other questions.
Yes.
In the future. In fact, if you can, email me a copy of that.
All righty, I'll have to.
Because I know I'm going to get. And I've got a question here about